What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having a good weekend or had a good weekend. I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of a quick update, or some things I'm looking forward to going into the beginning of the week. Instead of just throwing out a live stream, I figure some of you guys might just want to come in for a recap, or just to see what I'm thinking in the moment, or just an update in general. And I figured, I'll cater to other people who don't want to tune into the live streams, or who can't tune into the live streams, just to give you a little heads up of some things that I will be looking for in the future as the week goes on. So let's go talk about that. First things first, I have to announce something. I want to let you guys know that I'm changing just a little bit of how I'm approaching things. We had a little meeting at the ABC roundtable between me and Kite recently, and just going back and forth about just different ideas. And I'm sure if you guys follow me, you follow him. If you haven't, or you don't follow him, please guys go check out Kite Crypto. He's the man. He's the reason why I'm here. He has taught me everything I have learned, and some. Well, actually, no, yeah, he has taught me everything that I learned. But guys, go check him out. He's the man. But we were talking about something, and we're gonna be trying something out. I personally have done this in the past, just experimenting with different stop loss variations, and there's ups and downsides to it. And the main thing that you can make up for when adjusting stop losses is adjusting your risk to make sure that even though yes, your R&R does go down, the amount put into the trade is going to make up for that profit wise. So there is a line that has to be established between doing that responsibly and obviously over risking. And as of right now, we're kind of experimenting. I told him that I used to mess around with 2% on chart, or 2% stop loss on chart, with a 2% risk, and had decent success off of that. The main thing that's going to change for you when you would do this is your win percentage, and I guess also the percentage that price will, how do I say this, will play in a certain region. So let me just explain quick. A really good example was with Ethereum. So on Ethereum, we do have a much larger setup here. All right, and your entry would be down here at about 1179. So one of the things that we talked about, we used ETH as an example, was figuring out how to avoid some of the choppiness. Now, if you guys were playing this entry with the 1%, you definitely would have had a rough time in the beginning. Looks like we might be coming down and get stopped out again. We'll have to see how it plays out. But when you plot the position on the chart, we were kind of messing around with different stop losses and just spitballing ideas back and forth. Ideally, we both came to the conclusion that we're just going to try out and figure things out as it goes. As of right now, we're using about a 3%. Just because it's something I haven't personally used. I've used 2% for a while, if you guys have watched earlier videos in the past. But as of right now, we're going to be experimenting with 3%, and hopefully that'll help out with not getting too caught up in volatile areas, or areas where it could be a little bit choppy. Hopefully it can help negate the choppiness. And obviously we're risking a little bit more, so just keep that in mind. But ideally the goal is to avoid that, as well as take full advantage of making the same amount of profit by upping the risk a little bit. Just be careful that you guys don't do this irresponsibly. Just be careful how you approach these things. The most important thing is keeping a good, healthy grasp of risk, and understanding not to go overboard, and just keeping a good risk parameters in set, or keeping good risk parameters in general. I don't know why I meant to say I said it like that, but just letting you guys know going forward, that's what we're doing. So let's just go over some of the things for BTC. I'm gonna sit here just kind of recap, because I already I've gone over this a handful of times already. We basically have an ABCA, ABCB, and then we have now officially put in an ABCC. So within that, you have an ABC within the C. And the the main pivot to get back above is at 17,600. If BTC can get it back above that and sustain above it, that's definitely going to show some signs of strength. And from there, I don't know exactly where price is going to go, but that's the main entry I'm focusing on, as you guys know. Or if you haven't know, or if you guys are new to the channel and haven't seen basically my larger stance on the market in general, that's just a quick little recap. To me, like I mentioned before, I'm primarily looking for this level to be tested. All right, and from there, that's going to complete a much larger ABC. Now let me just go over some things quick. All right, I'm currently short off of this ABC here, as well as I'm probably going to try to take this setup here if it does form. The other possibility of a setup until that happens is going to be this smaller one here. I personally am not too sure if I'm going to take this. I might just wait till we get in that lower low to put in that larger ABC here. And to me, that's a setup worth playing in my opinion. You know, we're still in the confines of my my perspective parameters. We're on a 30-minute time frame, zoomed out as much as I can. To me, this setup here and this setup lines up in size. So to me, I would definitely want to take this, and for me, it's worth taking. So let's keep that level in mind. I'm looking for a push past lower there. I'll think about taking this smaller setup here, just because we're kind of getting to the point where it's kind of small. But this can easily get into a situation to where that ABC can put in an A to a B to a C. All right. And then from there, that'll definitely put in a short continuation setup. You know, I'll let you guys know when I decide to do that, especially, well, if you guys are in the Discord group, you guys get first access and basically real-time updates from when I personally will take a position. If you guys are interested in that, check out the Patreon link in the description below. But I'm primarily looking for this setup to form so I can take profit on the original entry up here that I mentioned earlier in the video. All right, and that's going to hopefully form some sort of continuation from there. If this is going to definitely push past lower, I'll have to see how this forms. If we do come down and put in a lower low here, I might have to change my perspective, just because the setup itself is going to change, but just keep those in mind. If the low isn't broken, look for that. Oh my God. If that low isn't broken, look for the high to be broken. And then from there, I'm looking for a lower low, hopefully. The other case scenario is if the low is broken without putting in that high, past that red line here, I showed you about 18,200, then I'll go ahead and reevaluate the situation. But I'm going to hold my shorts as well as look for a long position to take if we do put in that ABC setup down here. All right. Now, guys, part of the reason why we're changing how we're approaching these setups is because primarily we want to just stick to primary coins. You know, one of the things that you guys have seen me do this in the past, especially recently, is I'm taking a lot of altcoin positions. I want to try to refrain from doing that, so I feel like doing this, changing the way we're approaching the trading, or at least the stop loss part of our trading, is definitely going to allow me to just focus on that, as well as the bigger stop losses are going to allow me to figure some stuff out, and at least in my personal life, give me more time on to sit here and constantly re-enter trades. It'll allow me to help me get some good sleep, hopefully. Or at least better sleep overall. Just nothing to worry about. It's going to take a lot more for price to stop me out than it would, you know, using a 1% stop loss like we have been. So this is part of the few reasons why we're going to do that. Let's just go over Ethereum here. Ethereum on a much larger time frame here. We do have a larger A to a B to a C. Now, to me, if ETH can stay above that's where is it? At 18. Wow, why isn't this not working? That's 1778, or sorry, 1178. I'm definitely going to remain bullish and hold along, and hopefully, get a upside retest to have very least up here. Most likely more if this is going to be a larger push up. We'll have to see how it goes out. And then, if we do put in a lower low, best, that 1073.50, I will definitely consider taking a smaller entry. I'll have to see how that plays out, but until that happens, I'm definitely going to stick to the 1178 entry. All right, and let's go over LTC quick, because LTC is playing out a little bit differently because we put in this much larger structure. To me, this is one completed trend. Now all I'm primarily focused on is just area price action here. So if I go to like an hourly, I'm just primarily focused on this. So within this area, the only thing I can see is two things. One, it's an A to a B to a larger C. From there, if we get a lower low past that 46-ish, right? Is that right? 47.50. I will go ahead and take a long once price gets back above. That's pretty much it. How it's going to develop from here doesn't really matter. You do have this ABC here, and from there, that's definitely going to put in a much larger setup for me to short. But primarily, regardless, that's still going to show, or at least give me the opportunity to still take that long down here, just in case that regardless of how this B forms, this is still going to be a much larger A to a B to a C. All right, so let's keep those levels in mind, and that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video, guys. That's what I'm looking forward to, opening up this week, and hopefully we can get some sort of larger move regardless of what direction, so we can get a good setup, or at least take advantage of any opportunity that price gives us. So that's going to be it for the recap, guys. So thank you so much. If you guys are interested in tuning into the live streams, I do stream at least twice a week. Perhaps I'll be moving up to 3. I'll have to see how things play out, but at least twice a week. It's going to be tomorrow, the 14th, and then the coming Wednesday at about 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. If you guys are interested for more content like this, please go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I would appreciate it, guys. Until the next time, which is probably going to be within next 24 hours, I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night.